Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Nowede kunina nyota yaku ya mai. Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na macungĩtwo na ikĩro cia igũrũ. Nĩ mahĩtũkĩtio nĩ rũhonge rwa KRA na KEBS. Tukoragwo harĩa Oasis of Hope Building kũrigania na kanitha wa ACK St Paul Kutus. Twendagia maĩ na ithimo cia mililita 500, lita 1, lita 5, lita 10 na lita 18 gaturumo kenda. Twarĩrie kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 7 1 kĩbũgũ 2 6 4 4 1 6 kana kĩbũgũ 2 kĩbũgũ 2 1 2 4 4 1 6. Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na mena thogora mũbacĩrĩru. Anglican Diocese of Kirinyaga, ARDOC, Investment Cooperative Society Limited, nĩ microfinance ĩna muoroto wa gwĩkĩra amemba hinya wa kĩmbeca na kũmateithia kwambatĩra ikĩro-inĩ ciao cia kĩmũtũrĩre. Amemba aitũ nĩ kuma grupu cia matũra iria ciũĩkaine ta Otugi Groups, makanitha na honge ciacio nĩ ituo iria inyitanĩte na kanitha wa ACK o hamwe na aruti wĩra a diocese. Gĩtũmi kĩawe kũingĩra ARDOC nĩ kĩĩ? Tũheanaga ngombo citũ na gĩcunjĩ gĩa thĩ, tũkoragwo na ihinda rĩa kũhoya hamwe na gũteithania, tũheanaga dividend oro mwaka iria ihĩtũkagio hingo ya mũcemanio wa oro mwaka. Amemba nĩ mahotaga kũgaranti arĩa angĩ, koguo kũhotithia ũrũmwe, wĩigĩrĩrĩki hamwe na waragania thĩinĩ wa ngurubu. Kwa ũhoro makĩria, twarĩrie kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 7 4 6 2 6 1 8 1 7 kana ũtũcerere rũrenda-inĩ rwitũ nĩruo www.adocinvestment.co.ke kana ũtũcerere ofici-inĩ citũ ACK St Thomas Cathedral, ngorofa ya 3 Kĩrũgũya.
Welcome to Master Education Center, where excellence in education is our commitment and core value. Our well-spacious classrooms and fully equipped boys and girls dormitories provide a nurturing environment for your child's growth and development. Our agricultural projects, including dairy, poultry and rabbit farming. Our institution boasts a fully equipped CBC Science laboratory and an art-craft home science workshop for holistic learning. Our modern computer laboratory ensures that students are well prepared for an IC-driven future. We offer a wide range of co-curricular activities, including scouting and girl guides. Vacancies are available. Come and register with us. Master Education Center is conveniently located on the Sagana-Kutus Main Road, just 1 kilometer from Kirinyaga University. For inquiries, please call us at 0722 319 306 or 0706 217 203 or 0733 217 203. Visit our website at www.mastereducationcenter.ac.ka for more information. Master Education Center. Serve and lead.
Get ready for an extraordinary spiritual journey. The ACK Diocese of Kirinyaga, in collaboration with AMA, Anglican Mission Africa, invites you to Kirinyaga Central Great Mission from November 27th to December 3rd, 2023. Our theme is Setting the Captives Free, inspired by Isaiah 61, 1-3. Join us for a week of faith, fellowship, and transformation, hosted by Bishop Right Reverend Dr. Joseph K. Kevoshua. Don't miss this life-changing event. See you there.
By Faith Bookshop, dealers in Bibles, motivational books, revision books for primary and secondary, wall hangings, storybooks, exercise books, and stationery. We are located at Kerugoya along Kerugoya Kagumo Highway, opposite Cabanas Hotel, and Kutus along Mjini Road, next to Gopinath Hardware. By Faith Bookshop, knowledge is power.
Pillar TV kurongereria mutorire.
Good morning, viewers. Thank you, Monica, for inviting me today to Pillar TV to come and talk about civic education and what we do. My name is Ruth Moboni. I'm the County Civic Education Coordinator working with Uraia Trust. I'm also a business consultant, and I wear many caps. I also run a community-based organization called Kirinyaga Women Empowerment Programs. Thank you for inviting me today. So I'll go straight to what civic education is. So when I tell people that we do civic education, sometimes they ask, what is this civic education? What actually do you teach? Civic education, some people call it civic literacy, some people call it political education, and we are not political, but there's a very thin line between political education and civic education, because you cannot talk about the governance processes without mentioning the political landscape of the country. Now, I'm going to discuss the importance of civic education or civic literacy to the community or to the society. One of the advantages or the importance of giving people civic education is that it equips citizens with knowledge, skills, and values. Now, you may ask yourself, why do citizens need to be equipped with knowledge, skills, and values? Our reference book is usually the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and that is where we get all the information to do our civic education. Now, you realize that when we promulgated this constitution, that was in the year 2010, 27th of August, people are so excited, people are so, it really triggered something in the lives of people, and they wanted a constitution that is living, that they work with. And actually that is what the document came to do. But unfortunately, not many people read. And even you remember when we were doing the referendum, people are saying, so and so read for us. So there is no need of reading. So majority of the people passed a document that they never knew its content. So that is why Uraia has come up now with the program to try and educate people about the contents of the Constitution and the values they are in. So when you talk about values, we talk about values like integrity, values and like good governance. So they are also in the Constitution, those values that civic education comes now to advance. The other importance of civic education is that it promotes critical thinking, problem solving, and responsible actions. So when you critically think about an issue, you are able to interpret or to see what others cannot see. For example, you can be able to identify emotional language. You can be able to tell when the country is emotionally charged or politically charged. You can be able to avert an instance of violence in the country. For example, you realize that after every 5 years, after every elections, there has been a lot of turbulence. There has been a lot of, instability in our country. So when people are enlightened, when people are imparted with knowledge, there is less likelihood of having those instances because they'll be knowing what is expected of them, and at the same time, they'll be able to put their leaders to task. They'll be able to examine how the governance processes is happening and put it to question. So civic education is very important because, like for example, when you see many people buying weapons of warfare, you'll be able to interpret that there is something that probably is going to happen. When you see people insulting each other, political divisions, and you are likely to see something erupting out of that situation. And the government is able to avert, the citizens are able to come up with strategies of averting such violence. The other importance is proper functioning of a democracy. There's nothing as bad as leading a people who are ignorant. It is very tedious. It is very, very, it is not a good thing. So every leadership should endeavor to lead a citizenry that is informed and that is empowered with knowledge. That is why we come on board to do civic education, so that people can be aware about the democratic processes in the country. Somebody may ask, what is this democracy that you're talking about? We started reading about democracy when I was in primary school, and we could sing like a song that democracy is the government by the people for the people. I did not know that those were the words of Abraham Lincoln, but that is how we can define democracy. It is actually people governing themselves. It is people, sovereignty of the people. And it is actually the first chapter in this Constitution of Kenya 2010. You find people being given a lot of prominence in the Constitution. The first chapter talks about supremacy of the Constitution and sovereignty of the people. So this is a people-driven document. And that is why they need to know about it, the contents, and so that they can own it. The other importance is that it fosters a sense of national identity. Now, when you know your rights, when you know your responsibilities as a citizen, you are likely to have an identity, to be patriotic, and to know what exactly you're supposed to do, your part. You play your part very well. When you are given leadership, you know what people expect of you, and when you are being led, you also know what is expected of you as a citizen. It encourages civic engagement. Now, when people don't know about their governance processes, you cannot engage from a point of knowledge. For example, there are things we call public participation. And people are called to give their views to the leaders on the projects that they want to be done in their areas and the priorities. They are called to, to talk about, to give their views generally. Now, imagine if you do not know what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to say. So, civic education will help people to understand even how the government works. For example, there are projects that are supposed to be done by the county government. There are projects that are supposed to be done by the national government. But people sometimes confuse all this. You will find them putting their MCAs to task to tarmac a road, for example. And it is not their wish. It is just because they do not know the responsibilities of this leader and the other leader. So that is why we are here, to do the civic education to our people so that they may know how these lines are drawn. Citizens are able to understand their rights and responsibilities, and it also inspires citizens to take civic actions. In this phase of civic education, Uraia is emphasizing so much on engaging or starting civic actions. But now people are asking me, what is civic action? What is a civic action? A civic action is an activity that is initiated by citizens towards the government, putting the government to task to do something on their behalf. For example, in this area, there could be no health facility, and people are traveling very far to get medical attention. It is upon the people or the citizens of that place to take an action. That is what we are calling civic action. It may be in form of petitioning the government, writing a memorandum, going for public participation and telling the government that they need that facility. So that when the government is doing its own budget, it may include that particular issue as an issue of priority or urgency. Otherwise, it would be very wrong for the government to come and put up an ECD center while there's no health facility. Probably they don't need that ECD center, they need a health facility. It is the priority of those people. So people are able to start those civic actions, petition the government, call the government to order, and also when power is being misused, people are able to come up together and take that action and stop it. The other importance of civic education is that it fosters a sense of national identity. It triggers something. When you know so much about the governance processes in your country, you feel like you have a duty and a responsibility to correct any wrong that may be happening. It may be an individual or a group, but that is what this civic education triggers in a human being. That is why you find people going for leadership positions, because something was triggered in them and probably they want a change out of that. We are going to look at the roles of civic education in the society. Number one is that it helps in acknowledgement and respect for human rights. In this Constitution of Kenya 2010, there are 18 chapters, and the chapter on Bill of Rights, it's actually the largest. That is chapter 4. So it spells out all the rights and freedoms that any human being is supposed to enjoy. So civic education is supposed to make people aware and know their rights and responsibilities. Remember, your right starts where somebody else says it, so you should not infringe or violate somebody else's right as you try to protect your own. So if you have any question, if you have any comment concerning what we are talking about today, you may use the phone to write a message, to call the studio, that is 0798 673 426, Facebook Pillar TV, YouTube Pillar TV, Twitter at tvpillar. I'm going to answer to those questions and comments after the break.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Pillar TV is a 24-hour station that provides captivating programs, incisive news on local and national happenings, in-depth analysis of current affairs in politics, business, and entertainment. To comment on our programming, send us your feedback on our Facebook page, Pillar TV, or our Twitter handle at TV_pillar. Email us at tvpillar@gmail.com or call us on 0798 673 426.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
No wende kunina nyota yaku ya mai. Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na macungĩtwo na ikĩro cia igũrũ. Nĩ mahĩtũkĩtio nĩ rũhonge rwa KACK St Paul Kutus. Twendagia maĩ na ithimo cia mililita 500, lita 1, lita 5, lita 10 na lita 18 gaturumo kenda. Twarĩrie kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 7 1 kĩbũgũ 2 6 4 4 1 6 kana kĩbũgũ 2 kĩbũgũ 2 1 2 4 4 1 6. Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na mena thogora mũbacĩrĩru. Anglican Diocese of Kirinyaga, ARDOC Investment Cooperative Society Limited ni microfinance ina muoroto wa gwikira amemba hinya wa kimbeca na kumateithia kwambatira ikiro-ini ciao cia kimuturire. Amemba aitũ nĩ kuma grupu cia matura iria cioĩkaine ta Otugi Groups, makanitha na honge ciacio nĩ ituo iria inyitanĩte na kanitha wa ACK o hamwe na aruti wĩra a diocese. Gĩtũmi kĩawe kũingĩra ADOC nĩ kĩĩ? Tũheanaga ngombo citũ na gĩcunjĩ gĩa thĩ, tũkoragwo na ihinda rĩa kũhoya hamwe na gũteithania, tũheanaga dividend oro mwaka iria ihĩtũkagio hingo ya mũcemanio wa oro mwaka. Amemba nĩ mahotaga kũgaranti arĩa angĩ, koguo kũhotithia ũrũmwe, wĩigĩrĩrĩki hamwe na waragania thĩinĩ wa grupu. Kwa ũhoro makĩria, twaririe kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 766 263 187 kana ũtũcerere rũrenda-inĩ rwitũ nĩruo www.adocinvestment.co.ke kana ũtũcerere ofici-inĩ citũ ACK St. Thomas Cathedral, ngorofa ya 3 Kĩrũgũya.
Welcome to Master Education Center, where excellence in education is our commitment and core value. Our well-spacious classrooms and fully equipped boys and girls dormitories provide a nurturing environment for your child's growth and development. Our agricultural projects, including dairy, poultry and rabbit farming. Our institution boasts a fully equipped CBC science laboratory and an art-craft home science workshop for holistic learning. Our modern computer laboratory ensures that students are well prepared for an IC-driven future. We offer a wide range of co-curricular activities, including scouting and Girl Guides. Vacancies are available. Come and register with us. Master Education Center is conveniently located on the Sagana-Kutus Main Road, just 1 kilometer from Kirinyaga University. For inquiries, please call us at 0722 319 306 or 0706 217 203 or 0733 217 203. Visit our website at www.mastereducationcenter.ac.ka for more information. Master Education Center. Serve and lead.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Pillar TV is a 24-hour station that provides captivating programs, incisive news on local and national happenings, in-depth analysis of current affairs in politics, business, and entertainment. To comment on our programming, send us your feedback on our Facebook page, Pillar TV, or our Twitter handle at TV_pillar. Email us at tvpillar@gmail.com or call us on 0798 673 426.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
No wende kunina nyota yaku ya mai. Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na macungĩtwo na ikĩro cia igũrũ. Nĩ mahĩtũkĩtio nĩ rũhonge rwa KRA na KEBS. Tũkoragwo harĩa Oasis of Hope Building kũrigania na kanitha wa ACK St. Paul Kutus. Twendagia maĩ na ithimo cia mililita 500, lita 1, lita 5, lita 10 na lita 18 gaturumo kenda. Twarĩrie kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 7 1 kĩbũgũ 2 6 4 1 6 kana kĩbũgũ 2 kĩbũgũ 2 1 2 1 Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na mena thogora mũbacĩrĩru. Anglican Diocese of Kirinyaga ADOC Investment Cooperative Society Limited nĩ microfinance ina muoroto wa gwĩkĩra amemba hinya wa kĩmbeca na kũmateithia kwambatĩra ikĩro-inĩ ciao cia kĩmũtũrĩre. Amemba aitũ nĩ kuma grupu cia matura iria cioĩkaine ta Otugi Groups, makanitha na honge ciacio nĩ ituo iria inyitanĩte na kanitha wa ACK o hamwe na aruti wĩra a diocese. Gĩtũmi kĩawe kũingĩra ADOC nĩ kĩĩ? Tũheanaga ngombo citũ na gĩcunjĩ gĩa thĩ, tũkoragwo na ihinda rĩa kũhoya hamwe na gũteithania, tũheanaga dividend oro mwaka iria ihĩtũkagio hingo ya mũcemanio wa oro mwaka. Amemba nĩ mahotaga kũgaranti arĩa angĩ, koguo kũhotithia ũrũmwe, wĩigĩrĩrĩki hamwe na waragania thĩinĩ wa ngurubu. Kwa ũhoro makĩria, twarĩrie kũhĩtũkĩra kĩbũgũ 746 266 187 kana ũtũcerere rũrenda-inĩ rwitũ nĩruo www.adocinvestment.co.ke kana ũtũcerere ofici-inĩ citũ ACK St Thomas Cathedral, ngorofa ya 3 Kĩrũgũya. No wende kũnina nyota yaku ya maĩ? Mount Kenya Blessing Purified Water nĩ maĩ matheru na macungĩtwo na ikĩro cia igũrũ. Nĩ mahĩtũkĩtio nĩ rũhonge rwa KRA na KEBS. Tũkoragwo harĩa Oasis of Hope Building kũrigania na kanitha wa ACK St Paul Kutus. Twendagia maĩ na ithimo cia mililita 500, lita 1, lita 5, lita 10 na lita 18. Get ready for an extraordinary spiritual journey. The ACK Diocese of Kirinyaga, in collaboration with AMA, Anglican Mission Africa, invites you to Kirinyaga Central Great Mission from November 27th to December 3rd, 2023. Our theme is Setting the Captives Free, inspired by Isaiah 61, 1-3. Join us for a week of faith, fellowship, and transformation, hosted by Bishop Right Reverend Dr. Joseph K. Kevoshua. Don't miss this life-changing event. See you there.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Welcome back. I was saying that we derive our content from the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Now, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the supreme law of the land. It is the mother law, and all other laws must flow from it harmoniously. So you realize that every institution has its own constitution. I'm sure even in the ACK fraternity, there's a set of rules and laws that governs Christians, and that is what we call a constitution. But even as we make our own constitutions in our groupings, in our institutions, we should remember that the constitution of the land is the mother law, and anything that contradicts it or is in contravention of the constitution is null and void. And now, what is a constitution? Somebody may ask. It is a set of laws and rules defining a relationship between different institutions and areas of government. That is the simplest way that I can define a constitution. Laws such as acts of parliament and other laws that are made all fall under this mother law. And those people who, we realize in Kenya we have undergone a long journey in a constitutional review process, and it started even pre-independence, before independence. We have done a lot of constitutional amendments, the repeal of Section 2A, and a lot of struggles. And it is important to know the history of your country so that you can be able to appreciate the present and also embrace the future with confidence. So if we go back to how we have come constitutionally, you realize a lot of push and pull, as some people tries to resist the amendments, and as others try to push for them. So what the lesson that we can learn from that is that constitution is made for people. It should not be oppressive. It is subject to amendment, and it is subject to change. should it be oppressive. It is rigid in nature, so it is not supposed to be changed oftenly, and it is framed for the future generations. So every man vested with power is liable to abuse it and to carry his authority as far as it will go. That is the nature of human beings. That is the nature of men. If you are vested with power, you are likely to abuse it. You are likely to carry it as far as you can go to achieve the biggest or the highest. So the more you get the power, the more you want it. And that is why we have laws, a set of laws and regulations, so that we can check those people who are in power as we try to support them as responsible citizens of the country. There are so many players that were involved in our journey in the Constitution of Kenya review process. We cannot fail to mention names like Yashpal Gai, the one who was the chairman of the first committee, the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, the very first one that attempted or started this journey. The other players that came on board, such as the government, learning institutions, civil society, and the public generally. So the spirit was to bring a document that will be embraced by everybody, that is living, that people will feel, yes, this is what we have been waiting for. And the clamor for democracy could not be ignored. Democracy, we said, it is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. That is what people are clamoring for. That is what people are pushing for. They wanted a government that they can own. They wanted a government that is responsive to their needs. You remember that era of one party, that the president was everything. So there was no devolution of power anywhere. There was no sharing of national resources equitably and fairly. And people felt, no, this is not right. So they started pushing for a democratic country that everybody can feel that they are playing their role in governance process. And democracy has played a role in the story of civilization, in helping transform the world from power structures of things like monarchies, empires, and conquest into popular rule of self-determination and peaceful coexistence. So democracy is the key here. And that is why we ended up having this document that is living, that we are really training people on as civic educators. So Kenyans wanted a constitution that would be responsive to their social, economic, and political needs. They felt that the document that was there since 1963 was not meeting their needs. And that is why everyone was really eager for a change. So this constitution that we are talking about has got 18 chapters. So in this journey of civic education, we are going to be looking at every chapter and exhausting its content. So when we come to chapter 1, we talk of sovereignty of the people and supremacy of the Constitution. So it is talking about itself, the powers that are in it, as small as it may appear as a document. Sovereignty of the people, people power. You know, people don't know how much power they wield. So when you elect your leaders, he or she is just a representative of your voice. But actually, you are the one governing. So that is all what is contained in this document. And we are going to look at the preamble of the Constitution of Kenya, where we are starting by acknowledging the supremacy of the Almighty God of all creation. Now, there are two documents or books that guide every human being. And as Christians, we are guided by the Bible. And you know, if you don't follow the word of God, where you end up, of course, we are told that you end up in hell. And when you follow the word of God and the teachings of the Bible, you go to heaven. That is what we are told. And the same case here on earth now, before we go to heaven and hell, we need to follow the constitution of the land. And of course, there are penalties to that also. So you know what will happen to you if you break the law. You definitely end up in jail. But if you are a good citizen, you live harmoniously with the government and with other people. So these two books are very important to me. They are very personal to me, the Bible and the Constitution, because they are the guiding principles when you are in this world. Now, when we talk about acknowledging God as the Almighty, it means that Kenya is a God-fearing country. Kenya loves God, and Kenya is a prayerful nation. That is why it has given God the first preeminence in the Constitution. Then, honoring those who heroically struggled to bring freedom and justice to our land. Kenya was a British colony for a long time, and it took some very brave people, a few people, to stand up to the Britons and say enough is enough. So we have to recognize, we have to honor them, and we have to give credit where it is due. And if it were not for those people who fought for the independence of this nation, we would still be governed by the British government. We would not be boasting of enjoying our resources and freely moving. Remember, there was a lot of racial discrimination. There were white schools and black schools. There are white hotels for the whites and hotels for the black people. And you could not be having that sense of belonging as Africans, as Kenyans. So that is why it is honoring those heroes, the Mau Mau fighters, and other people who struggled to see to it that we are an independent, sovereign state. Then we are proud of our ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity, and determined to live in peace and unity as one indivisible, sovereign nation. So Kenya has 42 tribes, those that are documented, but I know there are more than 42. Now, we are not different so that we can live as different, communities or ethnic groupings, but that is our pride, that diversity. You should be proud of where you come from, but that does not mean that you should look upon other tribes like they are inferior. So that diversity brings Kenya's pride, the diversity in foods, in dressing, in language. We are proud of that. And nobody chooses where to be born. So if you find yourself a Kikuyu, you should appreciate other tribes. You should be happy that you are Kikuyu, and you should not be ashamed of where you come from or where your tribe is. Then we are respectful of the environment, which is our heritage, and determined to sustain it for the benefit of future generations. If we don't conserve our environment, we are doomed as a country. That is why you find even the president is initiating some environmental conservation activities around the country. They are actually following the Constitution, because we have to look at the future generations. We have to look at what will happen when we are gone to our children and to their children's children. So when doing something against the environment, you need to understand and be very, very careful. So it is also a whole chapter in the Constitution, that is chapter 5, on land and environment. It talks about community land, it talks about private land, it talks about public land, and it also spells out what a private land is, a public land is, and a community land is. So as we continue with this discussion, I'll be elaborating all those types of land and even the functions of National Land Commission. That is a body that was established to look at the issues pertaining to land. You remember, land issues are very emotive in our country. So there's a whole commission to look into that. There's also on the preamble about recognizing the aspirations of all Kenyans for a government based on the essential values of human rights, equality, freedom, democracy, social justice, and the rule of law. Now, when we talk about human rights is a whole chapter in the Constitution on the Bill of Rights. And that one I can talk a whole day about human rights. But just to mention equality. Many people don't understand when you talk about equality. They think that women want to be over men. It is a competition of gender. No. It is just about giving equal opportunities to everybody, irrespective of whether they are women or men. So, in conclusion, we need to embrace our Constitution. We need to be learning more about it, and even reading on ourselves so that we can understand where we are, where we have come from, and where we are going as a country. So once again, I'm going to give you the phone number to the studio, that is 0798 673 426, in case of any question, comment, or anything that you'd like to know more about what we are discussing today. YouTube is Pillar TV, Facebook is Pillar TV, Twitter is @tvpillar, and may God bless you. Thank you.